Two teams both 1-0 coming into the second game of the 2015 football season as we begin the road portion, and a challenging road portion it will be, with 5 of the games in the 9-game regular season for the Trenton Bulldogs on the road, including 3 of the next 4, which makes the next 4 even more difficult. You got Holden in there next week. They're always tough. Pembroke Hill has been a thorn in our sides, as the guy here to my left, or caller analyst Jacob Marlay, can attest to. And the only home game that we have over the next month, Jacob, it's against Higginsville, who right now is ranked number 6 in the state, and I'd say Higginsville's had our number 2. So if Trenton is improved, and I think we both agree they are, they got to prove it over the next month. What's kind of your thought process going into week number 2?
Well, I mean, I think going into week number 2, you definitely have the mindset of, well, Lexington is a tougher opponent than Carrollton. So you go into it and you have to bring that confidence that you built with that great win over Carrollton, and you bring that confidence in, and you hope that the confidence, along with the skills that you have, can help you win over a better team than you played last week.
Lexington runs a single wing, which to my knowledge is you'll have 3 guys in the backfield. They could hike it to any one of the 3 guys in any single time, but it's really defensively. You got to worry about your guy and not running out of your lane. Is that kind of the big thing tonight?
Yeah, it's a really tricky offense to keep track of on defense. You got to keep disciplined and make sure you know who your guy is and watch your guy.
We've had trouble getting connected from Lexington in the past. We have our fingers and our toes crossed because right now we're connected. We're good. We also have the video connected and good. We may have to do a little bit of sliding and juking and jiving for video's sake, because otherwise anything to my left from the 50 down to the goal line, going to have video shooting right into the side of a wall. That's not going to work real well. So we'll see what we can do. It'll be me sliding left. It's going to be Jacob sliding back. It'll be the video camera sliding left as well. But we'll be quick on our feet tonight. Trenton has won the opening toss of the coin, and this Bulldog special teams kick return, which has the potential to be pretty good this year. We'll get the first football first to begin this week number 2 battle. Trenton in the traveling white tops with the black numerals and bottoms. Black matte helmets with the gold tee, who Jacob said, I wish I had those helmets. They're cool.
Yes, I did. The Revo Speed helmets always look cool.
What's your familiarity with the Lexington football field? Is there anything unique about this field to you, or is it just kind of one of those typical Class 2 Missouri football fields?
It was pretty typical from my standpoint, just a regular plain grass field, no surprising holes or any bumps like that you really need to be aware of.
You can see a crown from here, but it's not huge.
No.
Ball goes on the 40-yard line. Kicking it away will be Ryan Neer of the Minutemen. Short kick, end over end, grabbed by Berkey Bile at the 20. Near of the near hash, he runs it out to the 25-yard line, stays on his feet to the 30, and he's out to the 33-yard line. If you look at any guy who is kind of the bull horse of this Trenton offense or special teams, it's going to be number 27, Austin Berkey Bile. He broke a couple of tackles right around his shoulders. We expect that from him. You got to tackle him by the ankles and the knees.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. But I'm looking forward to seeing the Bulldogs' defensive special teams. As last week against Carrollton, they had a couple of really good returns and special teams plays, and I would say it was their best point of the game.
Lexington, I describe it as kind of that old-school Patriots look with the old Patriot Pat hiking the football. Blue uniforms for Lexington with white helmets, white numerals, and red trim. Here's McCarter on the keeper, runs it through the middle. Might have handed it off, too. I don't think McCarter ended up with that football. He might have got it off to his running back out to the 37-yard line. He got it to Colton Neff. I don't know how he got it to Neff. I never did see the handoff, but that's a gain of 4. It wasn't necessarily the most pretty-looking play, though. It looked like one of those plays that Trenton was fortunate not to fumble it away. 2nd down and 6 for the Bulldogs, moving from left to right on your radio dial. Kremolinix wide to the near sideline for THS. Under center is senior quarterback Cale McCarter. Motion man is Leaper. McCarter stood up at the line of scrimmage, breaks the tackle, runs it out to the 39-yard line. It wasn't McCarter stood up at the line of scrimmage. I tell you what, there was a heck of a football hit. Matthew Schneeder of Lexington came up, and he had Colton Neff right in the rib cage. That was a good keeper by our quarterback.
Yeah, perfect read by McCarter there. The defensive lineman just completely bid on the handoff, and whenever your running back gets wrapped up, the quarterback's got to know to keep the ball, and he got a gain because of it.
It's going to be one of those football games where turnovers are going to be key, time of possession is going to be key, and 3rd down conversions are going to be key. Here's the first big one of the game. 3rd and 4 for the Dogs from the 40-yard line. Dogs lining up in the double wing. Going in motion will be McCarter, and he hands it off through the middle, and Neff gets hard yards up the middle for 4 and a first down. Last night, Jacob and Dog Bites was talking a little bit with Coach Boswell about how we forget that Colton Neff was a 1,000-yard rusher 2 years ago. And you just got to figure that he's so much of a better football player now than he was then.
Yeah, the kid's a stud.
Certainly. Here's Leeper going out wide to the right. He'll get the football. Thought he might throw it. Now he gets a block. There's the flag. That's the danger right there. You get a block in the back, and that's going to go against the Bulldogs as Leeper is knocked out of bounds after the gain of 5. You can probably speak to how difficult it is to get out there on a block when you're trying to get Leeper to turn the corner and not hold or push in the back. That's very, very difficult for an offensive lineman.
Yeah, especially whenever you have big physical corners and linebackers out there, which it appears that Lexington has. They're not going to get bullied around on the edge, and they're going to try and set the edge the best they can. They've done a good job.
I didn't see the penalty. I'm going to assume it was a hold, but I didn't see where it was. But certainly there was a lot of a jousting and kind of of moving of the play. And what happens so often is you're out there as a lineman, you're jousting, your angle's getting changed, and all of a sudden your angle changed to the point that and it's almost like that half second of just your brain goes numb, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's that cliche of, offensive linemen never get noticed for what they do right. They instead get noticed for what they do wrong, and that's one of those penalties that you notice.
10-yard penalty against the Bulldogs. It'll be first down and 15 from the 30-yard line. It's fortunate that Trenton got a 5-yard gain there. It makes the penalty a little bit less painful. Here is the keeper by McCarter, running it left side. He'll keep it, put his head down. Nice play by Lexington. Stop him for middle yardage. At best, a gain of 1 for senior quarterback Cale McCarter. Trey Coolin. As we had Jacob use the term stud to describe Colton Neff, I'll use the term stud to describe Trey Coolin. That's just a football name here in the Lexington community. That is a gain of... I was being really generous in calling that one for McCarter. I think he might have lost a half a yard. It'll be second down and 24 yards to go. I think they even, after that first down play, had to move the yardsticks forward to make it more accurate, so it was a painful penalty. This is where we struggled last couple of years, quite frankly, getting behind the sticks. It makes it difficult on a run-heavy offense. We'll see if Trenton can either pull some magic here or else maybe get a little bit of field position before a punt over the next 2 plays. In motion goes Lamp. Here's a throw into the flat. Catch made by Leeper. Ducks his head out across the 30, and he's knocked down at the 31-yard line. So Molinix was out in front trying to block for Leeper. Not a great block by Cree. There were just more Minutemen than Bulldogs over there on this near hash, and a lot of speed shown there. Dylan Van Rompuy, 180-pound outside linebacker over to make the tackle. That was pretty good speed in getting to the football for Lexington.
Yeah, Trenton made a call to go with the screen pass on second and long instead of going maybe deeper to try one of their running plays, and Lexington just saw it coming and made the play.
Well, you have to look here, maybe screen pass, maybe a draw play. There's not a lot of plays that are going to get you 3rd and 24.
Yeah, it's a difficult spot.
It certainly is that. 3rd and 24 from the 24-yard line. Split wide receivers for the Bulldogs. They hand it off through the middle, and Neff is stopped after a gain of 1. So Colton Neff gets a gain of 1, and we've seen the story before going back to prior years. Trenton has a fairly positive start to the drive. You get the old penalty, and unless you're going to get that 15 to 20-yard gain after getting the penalty, that's going to short-circuit your drive. So the holding penalty will force a punt, punting it away from his own 20-yard line. Looks like that's Tommy Johnston of the Bulldogs, number 86. And there's a short snap, and that's going to be hopped on. And it's a special teams disaster for the Bulldogs. It looked like it might have hit the backside of the Trenton snapper, and it went right to Colton Neff, and he caught the football, but he lands on the football. That's a turnover on downs for Trenton. Isaiah Kuhn, he is off the bench, and he's saying, okay, defense, that's not what we wanted, but he's trying to fire up the guys. We need a big stop here as Lexington just got a huge break. I don't know if I've ever seen that where the snapper literally looked like he either hit the up man or he hit his own backside just trying to get it back there, and it just floated back to the up man. Nothing Colton Neff could do with it. 1st and 10 for the Minutemen. There's the snap. The run through the middle down to the 26-yard line. Hard yards there for Warren Shepard, number 24. Makes you definitely as play-by-play man when you see that single wing being run. You got to make sure, okay, where's the football being snapped to? There's not a lot of fanciness to the offense, but there is a lot of deception to the single wing offense. As you remind you here, just past the 7 o'clock hour, You were listening to KGOZ Gallatin Chillicothe. Warren Shepard got the opening snap for Lexington. Reese Gasson will get most of the snaps. And here is the snap straight ahead, down across the 20 to the 18-yard line. As it is Gasson, the guy I just mentioned, getting the direct snap. And it'll be 3rd down and 2 from the 19 coming up for Lexington High School. Our defense has been pretty good here. Shut out last week, trying to get a 3 and out, maybe a 4 and out here. As it's 3rd and 2, Lexington moving the football right to left on the dial. Now they reshift. Power right side look here for the Minutemen. Shepard takes a direct snap, runs it through the middle, stood up by the Bulldogs, and it looks like Trenton. Yeah, it's going to depend on the spot. Shepard kept fighting. He got forward momentum, and he got, I believe, the 1st down. Bulldogs had him stuffed for no gain, but Shepard moved off to the right. And just that little slide off to the right and just a little lean got him the 1st down. That's why you got to get low on the running back, right?
Yeah, and you got to keep your feet moving. You know, you stop because you think that running back's going to go down. That running back's going to show you that he's not ready to go down. That's exactly what happened there, is they got the 1st down because of it.
1st down and 10. The Bulldogs did make that difficult, so we'll see if they can do that again, maybe even get a stop here. 1st and 10, Lexington from the Trenton 15-yard line. Gasson takes the snap, cut back run, and he's cut down, but not after good yardage. I thought they were going to get him about the 12. He keeps going, and he's down close to the 9-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 6 for Reese Gasson of Lexington. Lexington blue uniforms, blue tops, blue pants, white helmet, big blue stripe right across the top of the helmet. And if you're familiar with the old Patriots logo from the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, it has the big old center hiking the football. Looks like a Revolutionary War guy from the 1770s. That's the logo here for Lexington. 2nd and 4, Minutemen. Handoff, Gasson, he hands it off, coming to the left side, cutting against the grain, staying on his feet, going in for the touchdown with a little reverse field there was Cooper Lynn. Lynn will get a touchdown run of 9 yards for Lexington as Lexington turns a faux pas from Trenton special teams into a touchdown run on the first touch of the game for number 33, Cooper Lynn. The snap went to Gasson. Looked like he was going to run the sweep play right, but coming back against the grain was Cooper Lynn. He came back to the left, then was able to cut back against the grain, break the Bulldog tackle at the 5, and it's 6-0 home team. The swinging gate look shown here by Lexington. Now they will all swing back between the hash marks into position. And it looks like we're going to see an extra point attempt from junior place kicker Ryan Neer. Bulldogs pushing up against the line of scrimmage. Here's Neer with the kick. It is off to the right a little bit. Does it stay in the inside? No, it does not. It's outside the left goalpost. 6-0 Lexington over Trenton. 5:35 to go in quarter number 1. We're back in 30 seconds with the kick to the Dogs on Z101.7. I'm calling you, Emily. That's okay. Okay. It doesn't hurt us as long as I look down and look at my phone and go. We might have just lost signal. I'd rather have that happen than a break. Here comes the kick from Blake Johnson of Lexington. I should say that is Neer and not Johnson. Again, it's short by Neer. Grabbed by Leaper at the 21-yard line. Comes to the near hash, cuts to the middle, looks for a lane, has a lane, breaks a tackle at the 30s, out to the 35, and down to the 36-yard line. It wasn't a great return by Travis Leaper, but it was a good enough return with a couple of broken tackles that you feel like that gives the Dogs a little bit of momentum after giving up the 6.
Yeah, he cut back to the left where the blockers had all set up a good wall for him and Fortunately, there just happened to be one guy left for Lexington there. Otherwise, I think Leeper was probably gone.
We've seen Leeper do that before, too. I remember his freshman year at Brookfield. You were on that team when he broke it long. That was kind of his first big play as a Bulldog special teamer.
He's got dangerous speed, that's for sure. We knew that ever since he came to the Trenton Bulldogs.
Well, let's keep it here. We do have a timeout on the field. It may be for a water break. It's not stifling tonight. We'll give the little weather report from here. If you're worried about the chance of rain, if you're sitting at home, the guys and the fans appreciate it. It doesn't look like it's going to rain anytime soon. We did check the radar before the game, and the old line of thunderstorms developing there from southeast Nebraska up through northwest Missouri, talking Rockport and Tarkio back into northeast Kansas. Looked like it was trying to slide our way, but it's a long way away. Was rain that we ran through in Gallatin. Right now, there's no sun. It's overcast, but it's pretty humid. You know, it's not stiflingly humid, but it's just kind of the humidity that if you're out there playing, you'd feel this after a while, wouldn't you?
Yeah, this is that humidity that where it just gets annoying because it's not that hot out.
Right.
You're just drenched in sweat after one drive, and you're like, what is this? But,
yeah.
You know, it's something that the boys can play through.
We're up here broadcasting, and I think what kind of makes it feel more humid, and I think there's more wind than they're feeling, but there's not a lot of wind out there either.
No.
5 to 10, or I'm seeing a little bit in the way of the trees blowing just a tad here on the south side of Lexington, but it's just kind of one of those quiet to overcast, humid August nights. About 77 degrees here at game time in Lexington. 5:28 to go, first quarter. This is Rector Field, Lexington, Missouri. First down and 10 coming up for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs put 41 points on the board last week, being shut out a half a quarter in tonight. Motion man is Lamp. He'll get the football, cutting left side, back against the grain, stays on his feet, and boy, he got lit up. 39-yard line after a gain of 3. Reese Gasson came up and stopped Jonathan Lamp in his tracks. That's the way you stop Lamp because he's so quick, but it almost looked like he was looking for somewhere to cut, and Gasson got to him before he realized he was there, and there was no chance for Jonathan to even put his foot in the ground.
Yeah, and that's Jonathan's game, is get to the edge and put your foot in the ground, and he's got that speed that can take it all the way.
It's a nice-looking play by the Lexington defense, which has looked stout, showing 5 at the line of scrimmage. Lamp lined up right side of the formation. Hand off, keeper, I should say. McCarter through the middle. He's across midfield into the 49-yard line. Cale doesn't have a ton of varsity experience, but he has a ton of JV quarterbacking experience. And the young man, you can just kind of tell he knows what he's doing out there.
Yeah, he makes great reads and he makes great plays, and I mean that's exactly what you want out of a quarterback from a run-style system.
9-yard run by Cooper Lynn. The extra point no good. It came at the 5:35 mark of the first quarter. 6-0 Minutemen. Motion man Leeper moves out to the left hash keeper. McCarter, ooh, boy, was he hit. This Lexington team, and this is one of the things Coach Barkley said, they're not going to be bigger than a lot of teams that they play, but they want to think they're going to get hit just as hard as anybody that they play, and we've seen that from Lexington. You kind of get a sense from the sideline and watching this Lexington team is out for bear tonight. They are getting good licks on our guys.
Yeah, their defensive line is not allowing any push whatsoever. They're keeping our offensive line right at the line of scrimmage, and that allows their linebackers just right for the pick in our running backs.
I don't like seeing our guys stop for a gain of a half yard, as was the case there, but credit where credit is due. Lexington is very clean hits. They got their helmets up, and they're hitting us right in the ribs. As Lamp goes in motion, handoff, Neff through the middle, breaks the tackle, churns forward, 45-yard line, down to the 40, maybe 44, if they're generous with the spot. It's about as hard of a 5-yard run we're going to see all season long. Those were hard churning yards for Colton Neff.
Yeah, definitely. He had blue uniforms on him the whole time he was running the football.
Which gives, I would think, the Bulldogs confidence, hey, if we need a yard, this will come up at times this season, we need a half yard, we need a yard, and it's 4th down, you got some confidence in putting in the belly of 33 that you think they get the job done with those linemen. 3rd and 5 Bulldogs. Mullenix lined up to the near sideline. Lamp goes in motion, a handoff through the middle, and not getting the first down was Neff. If it were 4th and a half yard, it'd be okay. About a yard gain for Colton Neff. And this is where Coach Boswell earns the big bucks. 4th down and 4 from the 44. It looks like he's going to punt. What would your decision be here?
Well, I mean, I think it's a smart decision because you're playing the field position game against a team that doesn't necessarily look like I mean, it's a pretty close match here, so I think it's a smart decision.
Not explosive offensively.
Right, playing field position.
Here's the punt. This one much better for Trenton. The ball does not turn over. It's going to be grabbed at the 19-yard line, breaking a tackle there, going down the sideline, and then hit from behind at the 35-yard line. I didn't catch the number there of the Lexington special teamer. It was Cooper Lynn. He of the running touchdown from about 3 minutes ago. Breaking a couple of arm tackles. Too many Bulldogs there, quite frankly, were trying to tackle around the arms and the shoulders, and that's when you just get taken for a ride instead of get the guy down to the field. 1st and 10 for Lexington. It's a big moment here for the Trenton defense. It's early, but you don't want to fall behind by 2 scores.
Yeah, and in that first drive, I mean, it didn't look very pretty, but Lexington, got their running game going pretty well in the first drive, so it'll be interesting to see if the defense can do something different this time.
Defense for Trenton showing it looks like a 4-4 stack as Leeper comes out near sideline. Here is the snap back to Gasser. He's out across the 35 to the 38-yard line for a gain of 3. The other thing that kind of goes into effect here too is we saw this last year. If our defense is out there too long, they'll get gassed. No pun intended by the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and in high school, you have a lot of your good guys like Colton F. there who just made the tackle, and he plays defense and he's a key player on offense. So you never want the defense to get tired whenever they have to come back out on the field.
2nd, and that's a pretty generous spot for Lexington. It's going to be 2nd down and 6 from the Minutemen 39-yard line. The snap goes to Gasson. He will keep it running right side across the 40, banged down by Berkebile and friends at the 41-yard line. So Trenton hasn't had a big play defensively, but they haven't given up the big play either. It's been a lot of 3-4 yards and a cloud of dust thus far. Unfortunately for Trenton, 3-4 yards will get you 1st down after 3 plays.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of drive you want if you're Lexington's head coach, just 3 or 4 yards every single play, grinding it right up the middle, and, that gets you 1st downs and that gets you scores.
3rd down and long, 3 for the Minutemen. They line up now, stand up in position. They will shift off to the left side. Trenton will shift off to the right side of the defense. There is the direct snap through the middle and almost breaking it all the way, getting to midfield, and a maybe touchdown saving tackle will keep Warren Shepard from taking that, about 63 yards for the touch. That was just the direct snap to Warren Shepard, and that was awfully close to being 6.
Yeah, that seems like it's been a pretty good play for Lexington so far, is just get the ball in this guy's hands and let him go to work.
1st down and 10, Minutemen at the Bulldog 45-yard line. So again, Lexington will line up straight, go power right. A lot of guys in the backfield. Snap, Gasson throws it down the heart of the field. The ball's going to hang up in the air. Caught, flag on the play, and tackled just short of the goal line will be Blake Johnson. He is into the end zone for a touchdown. I thought he was stopped at about the 1, but instead Johnson makes the catch. He goes in from 41 yards out, and Lexington goes up on Trenton by a score of 12-0 with 44 seconds to go in quarter number 1. He wasn't wide open, but the pass was not good. The fact that the pass was so short actually worked against us because our defensive back was back there. He ended up running up the backside of the wide receiver.
Yeah, Kel McCarter, for the great plays that he makes on offense, just terrible coverage there. He didn't have his head turned, and he basically tried to tackle the receiver before he got the ball, and it still didn't even keep him from catching it. So, I mean, that's one that you just got to fix that. And
it's just one of the things you got to work on, where I think he knew he was beat, so he's trying to get back into the coverage. But even if you think you're beat, you got to know where the football is.
Yeah, you got to turn that head.
And he didn't turn the head. There was contact there. The flag went down. The flag didn't matter. Lexington's going to go for 2 and the 14-0 lead. 44 seconds left to go in the quarter. There's Shepard running it through the middle to the goal line. Stays on his feet. He's in for 2. So Shepard gets the 2-point conversion. And the Bulldogs have to work through a deficit if they want to go to 2-0. Trenton gets a punch to the mouth. 44 seconds to go in the quarter. 14-0 Minutemen with the lead. We're back in 30 seconds on Z101.7. Your ticket draw, you win half of the money you scored this evening's raffle. Was that 55 yards? You remember? Was that at the
catch?
Yeah, 44. Was that at their 45 or our 45?
That was at our 45.
So it's 45.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, are you there, Emily?
For the kickoff from the Minutemen.
Okay. Short kick to get things started, and a nice return for the Trenton upman on this play. Making the catch and bringing it back, Jeffrey White. He's all the way out to the 45-yard line. Kick was low. It looks like Lexington's trying to keep it away from Leaper on those kicks, but that was a nice play by Jeffrey to get really good field position for the Bulldogs, Jacob.
Yeah, he wasn't brought down easily either. Normally, whenever a guy that doesn't get a lot of playing time gets the ball in their hands, you get kind of nervous, but he looked like he knew what to do with it.
And he passed the line of sight. As far as when you look at a guy, does he look like a big old lumbering lineman, or does he look like somebody who's carried the football? He looked like somebody who's carried the football. That being said, you remind a guy like that, 2 hands on the football. Don't fumble it away. 1st and 10 from the 45. Great field position for the Bulldogs, who have slumbered offensively thus far. Lamp goes in motion, back to pass McCarter. Whips the ball to Mullenix. He makes a catch at the 45-yard line to the 40. Breaks a tackle, and he's down to the Minutemen 35. Much needed play on the slant. I asked Mr. Mullenix about how much he's working aside from practice on kind of getting that timing down with the quarterback. That was a really nice looking slant pattern.
Yeah, it was. It almost looked like the ball was slightly overthrown, but Mullenix was right there for it.
Under center is McCarter. Lamp will go to the left side. He'll get the pitch. Looking for that cutback lane. He gets it at the 35, stays outside to the 30. Gets a nice block, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 27-yard line. In that time, that was a stretch play coming left side where you're worried about holds. There wasn't a hold there for Trenton. That was really well blocked. What did you see there from the guys up front?
Yeah, instead of a hold, I saw a great lead block by number 56, Trey Shields there. He got the linebacker out of the way for Lamp, and he was able to set that edge because of it.
16.7 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Trenton making a late first quarter run, trying to get points on the board and cut into a 2-touchdown lead for the home team. McCarter keeps the football, runs left side, and he's going to be spun around and knocked backwards about 10 yards. Cale kind of turns around and says, hey, don't need to go on a ride like that. You got me stopped. There wasn't too much extracurricular stuff there as Kwame Simmons made the stop for Lexington. We've come to the end of the first quarter of play. We are live at Rector Field in Lexington. The score is the Minutemen 14 and the Bulldogs nothing. Second quarter comes up in a minute on Hot Country Z 101.7.
Since we're supporting our juniors as they put on prom, don't forget to visit the concession stand.
What's that?
Located at the north side of the home bleachers. Thanks for all of your support.
That's not good.
50 raffle ladies are making their kid proud. Remember, you're
Let's stay. I want to stay away from
No, so you have me on hold then, and then you're...
So I want to go rocking away from that.
Okay. I would just...
I know that.
Okay, I would just keep me on the line and just take the handset and just put it down on the table. Okay. Okay. Well, it's not that hard to dial a number either. Right. If need be, we do have the station phone here too. I'm not sure what the number is off the top of my head on that one. Okay. If you need to call that one, you can do that too, but that's sitting closer to Jacob. Okay. Do you have an angle from there? And welcome back here to Lexington High School. Trenton Bulldogs not necessarily in the red zone yet, but they're starting to kind of edge toward that position. A few of the Lexington faithful trying to fire up their defense as McCarter will go under center for the Bulldogs. We do our first shift in the press box here tonight. It might have been a little bit of motion on the first play of the second quarter against the Bulldogs. There was 5-yard penalty. Goes against Trenton. Looked like somebody shifted there and shouldn't have shifted. Is that what you saw, Jake?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I kind of have a tough angle here because we had to reshift for the camera, but I mean, it was definitely just a quick move that shouldn't have happened on the Bulldogs side.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nose there. There was movement that was early. 5-yard penalty, and boy, that's a big one too. Instead of 3rd and 3, which is very makeable for this offense, 3rd and 8, which is maybe a 2-down situation, back to the 33-yard line. So penalties have ruined the Bulldogs here for a quarter plus, as rolling out to his right is McCarter. He gets away from one, but not the second. Coming up from the secondary and making the tackle is Cooper Lynn, who, if there's a player of the game thus far, you might go with Cooper. He came up and cut off the angle from McCarter, who was running away from the big guys in the middle of the field for Lexington. Lynn came up and knocked him down. It'll be 4th down and 7. Give McCarter 1 yard on that carry. Now we'll see what Coach Boswell has in the bag of tricks. As here at Rector Field in Lexington, it is 14-0 Minutemen. 11:40 to go in the first half. Lined up wide to the left. Man-to-man coverage out this way is Mullenix. Maybe they take a shot that way. We'll see. Here is back to pass. McCarter rolling out to his left, has time. Now he's running out of time. Tucks the football down, and he's knocked down at the 34-yard line. That's the case there. You got a right-handed quarterback. He's running left. You might want to throw that to the end zone to get it to Mullenix, but it's awfully tough, too, because you're throwing against your body's momentum. McCarter's stopped after no gain, and it'll be 1st down and 10 coming the other way for Lexington. And as I said, it's a very minor-looking penalty, a little 5-yard penalty, but there's a huge difference between 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 8.
Yeah, definitely. It put the offense in a tough spot, and as you can see, they weren't able to do anything about it there.
It's late in the down, so if you can't pick up that yardage quickly, again, you can look at 2 Trenton drives now. Been 2 Trenton drives short-circuited by a penalty, and then a special teams gaff by Trenton that gave Lexington the ball at the 27-yard line. Snap goes to Gasson, cuts through the middle of the 40. I should say that's not Gasson, but rather Cooper Lynn. He's to the 41-yard line for a gain of 7. Lynn picks up 7. You got a couple of studs here wearing number 33 tonight. You got Cooper Lynn on one side. You got Colton Neff on the other. Long road trip tonight for the Bulldogs. Doesn't feel like you're going to another country or state or anything like that, but it's a lengthy trip. It'll be even longer next week. We'll be making the road trip down to Holden. For, if it's not the first ever, it's the first trip for Trenton to Holden in many, many years. Timeout on the field, 11:03 to go in the first half. The score is 14-0. Minutemen over the Bulldogs. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Bulldog football on Hot Country Z 101.7.
Hey, Demsich. Can you go back over yet? I mean, I don't want to make you if you can. I'm just saying they're kind of out in the middle now.
Can you stretch over to this window if he's here or no?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Okay. Welcome back to Hal Rector Field in Lexington, Missouri. Tom Johnson with you. Jacob Marlay, color analyst tonight. You can also watch this game on the comfort of either your iPhone, personal computer. Just go to kgozfm.com. Look for KTTN Video Archives, top of the page, homepage. You'll see a whole bunch of news and sports stories. Above that, you'll see a little rectangle. Click on that. You can watch the game with video as well. Hopefully bring you better news than what we have thus far. Here's Shepard through the middle. Cuts to his left, and he's going to get 1st down yardage for Lexington. Minimal gain of about 3. But it'll be 1st down and 10. Just across the 45-yard line as Berkey Bile is in on the tackle for Trenton. Well, it doesn't feel like Trenton's getting blown off the field here, Jacob, but Trenton is in need of something to turn the momentum. They need a big play, preferably to get points on the board.
Yeah, I think the toughest thing is that every time they've gotten momentum, it seems to just get swept right out from underneath their feet. Last time they had a great drive started, and then a bad play and a penalty just couldn't keep it going. 1st
and 10 for the Minutemen. Gasson this time goes in motion. Handoff Shepard. He's cut down in the backfield, and that's not the turnover, but maybe the big play that Trenton is looking for. It is a loss of half yard, maybe a yard if you want to be generous toward the Trenton side. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Just across the 45-yard line. It also is one of those nights where I don't feel like our defense has played poorly, but they're not getting off the field either. They're giving up a lot of 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, they're just letting drives continue, which is the biggest problem, and that causes fatigue, and then eventually, as we've seen, that causes scores, so they just need to get the offense off the field.
Certainly when you look at this Trenton roster, Trenton does have some size inside. Ryan Hines, Isaiah Kuhn trying to lock up that middle. Here's the sweep play coming left side to Warren Shepard. He gets a block out front. He's across midfield. He's going to be stopped short of the first down marker, right about the 48-yard line. Trenton at Holden next week as we roll into September. Then Higginsville in 2 weeks. And in 3 weeks, we'll be at Pembroke Hill. There's no press box at Pembroke Hill. There is here. I am very hopeful it's not raining at Pembroke Hill.
Yeah, let's hope not.
We got a lot of equipment that I don't want to have in the rain because it involves electricity. No, thank you. So we'll see what happens there down on the plaza in 3 weeks for the Trenton Bulldogs. That'll be the week number 5 opponent. As it's 3rd down and 4. Direct snap, Shepard runs it forward, spins, and he stops short of the first down. Now it's decision time for Coach Barkley. And let's go to Jacob here. I know we broadcast for Trenton, but this is an interesting decision for Lexington. Lexington has momentum. It's 4th and 2. I think Coach Barkley's going for it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you go for it too, and I think you put the ball in either the hands of number 33 or number 24, as those two guys have just been grinding it down the field all the way. Trenton's got some good stops here, but I would be confident with the 2-yard 4th down.
You got 33 Lynn and 24 Shepard, the two guys there that Jacob is referring to. 4th and 2 from the Bulldog 47-yard line. Gasson goes in motion. Here is the direct snap, and it'll be a first down to Lynn. Lynn gets that hard-earned yardage in the middle. And we can say Cooper Lynn until the cows come home. He's going to get the 5-yard gain there. There were offensive linemen, and there's a battering ram named DeHaven McCrary who just ran over a couple of Bulldogs and just led the way there for Cooper Lynn to get 5 yards and the first down to the Trenton 42-yard line. 8:23 to go, first half of play. Looks like a little bit gimpy there is Warren Shepard as he limps off the field. What do you see in there from number 24? Anything specific? Maybe might have caught a knee in the thigh, it looks like.
Well, you mentioned how humid it was out here. He might just be cramping a little bit. It doesn't look like anything too bad.
That's a good point. We're going to get our timeout called here by Coach Barkley. 8:07 to go in a Lexington-dominated first half. It is 14-0. Minutemen on top. We're back in 30 seconds to your home of the Bulldogs, Hot Country Z 101.7.
All of our former Minutemen coming back to spread their cheer in the Lexington community. We have representatives from the class of 1970. For the class of 1975, the class of 1985, and the class of 95. Hey, 61 and 62 are here too, I hear through the grapevine.
Okay. Tie line hanging in there. 8:07 to go in the first half of play. 14-0 lead for the Lexington Minutemen over the Trenton Bulldogs. I'm not sure, but I think at least half of these breaks we've seen here have been water breaks and not necessarily timeout. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. There hasn't been a lot of strategy talks, at least not big crucial moments, so I think it's more just water.
Humid out here. Sun's not necessarily out, just kind of humid, a little damp in the air, a little overcast. 1st and 10, Minutemen from the Bulldog 42. Snap goes to Lynn. He's across right side, breaks a tackle at the 20. Might have been a face mask on the play as Lamp came over. Got him down at the 14-yard line. I don't know what that was, but I got to think that's either a face mask against Lynn or else our guy came over and got him in the mask.
Yeah, I think it's the face mask because you saw the referee threw it right after he got off that stiff arm on.
You very rarely see this as the stiff arm into the face mask called against the offensive player. Let's see. Nope, it's against the Bulldogs. 5-yard penalty against Trenton. I don't think, I'm kind of going back to the memory bank, I don't think Lexington has a penalty, and I remember at least 3 or 4 ones that have not looked major, but they've been costly for Trenton.
Yeah, true. Some just, not smart penalties, jumping off sides. There we got the face mask, just discipline stuff.
That's because Trenton was scrambling, trying to keep Lynn out of the end zone. You can put up with a penalty like that because they got to find a way to get him to the ground. He's putting out the arm. It's a 5-yard penalty, which indicates it wasn't the serious variety penalty. But still, it's 5 yards against THS. 1st and goal from the 10. Handoff goes to Gasser through the middle. or gas in through the middle, I beg your pardon, across the 10 and down to the 7-yard line for a gain of 3. Trenton's in some dire straits here, I'm afraid. They need a turnover. We at the very least got to be able to get a stop here.
Yeah, this is where your defense really shows what it's made of at the goal line.
2nd and goal from the 7. It has been a completely different storyline, at least for Trenton. Storyline similar for Lexington, who pounded on Tipton last week 35-0, hitting here 14-0. Shepard runs it left side, breaks a tackle at the 5. He's spun down at the 1. Touchdown saving tackle by McCarter. Somebody for Trenton came up, was in great tackling position. He got ran over like he was like he was in the highway, and he had the train running through.
Yeah, it was Travis Leeper, and I mean, he was in good position, and he went down low for the tackle, but the running back just saw it coming and said, down low's not going to work on these legs.
Sometimes you do everything right, and you're just the fly on the windshield.
I mean,
that was...
Sometimes you just get outplayed. There's nothing you
got that right, and that was Leeper right there. 3rd and goal coming up from the 1. Lined up in the single wing. Snap goes to Shepard. He stood up at the goal line, leans to his right, and he's in. Again, we've seen that a couple of times. Trenton will hit the guy up high. Then it turns into kind of a wrestling match, or the sumo wrestling match, so to speak, at the 1. And that can be difficult to deal with if you're trying to get a stop right there. 1-yard touchdown run for Shepard of the Lexington Minutemen. Makes it 20-0 in favor of the red, white, and blue. Is 6:23, still more than half to go here in the second quarter of play. Not a lot of big plays by the Minutemen. We haven't seen a 20, 25, 30, the one pass play been it. Other than that, it's just been first down, touchdown. Those sorts of drives. Low snap. Here's the kick. It's on the way from near. It's up. It is wide. Wide to the left. 20-0 the lead for the Minutemen with 6:23 to go in the first half. We're back with a kick to the Bulldogs in 30 seconds on KGLZ Sports.
20, Bulldogs, 0.
The 30. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back to Lexington. Tom Jones along with you with Bulldog Football Week number 2 edition. My thanks. I want to thank personally here on the air because I was in a bind last week. I had a brother getting married. You're in those situations. It's opening week of the football season. Kind of get on the bro a little bit and say, hey, you put me you put me in not a great spot, but Dave Miles saved my bacon last week. He was able to fill in. I got to enjoy for the first time that nice expanded press box at CF Russell Stadium. So Jacob Marlay got to make his debut on the radio with Dave Miles. How was the press box, by the way? Is it nice?
I mean, I don't know what the old press box was like, but the new one is pretty nice.
Nice and wide. Yeah, not my favorite place to be when it starts moving back and forth a little bit, but other than that, it's a beautiful place to broadcast a game from.
Just wish we had a little bit more window space.
You got that, yep. Just have it from one side to the other. Kickoff coming up as the Bulldogs will return it from right to left on your radio dial, which as the crow flies is from southwest to northeast here across Rector Field. The kick coming from Ryan Neer. Boots it into the direction of Leeper, skips by him toward the far sideline, rolls out of bounds. That was a good thing for Trenton. There's not a whole lot you can do there if the Bulldogs. Austin Berkeybile's back there watching that ball roll dead at the 11, and it literally went about a half yard out of bounds. If that ball just rolls there, he got to go pick it up. He's not going to have a lot of momentum in blocking. That was almost a pretty good little pooch kick there by the Minutemen.
Yeah, I'm sure Berkeybile was probably a little bit nervous whenever he saw that ball was just barely going to make it out of bounds, if at all.
But yeah, you got to pick it up. You're coming from a dead stop. You're trapped against the far sideline. You got probably about 6 or 7 guys wearing blue coming after you. You're literally in that situation. If you can get that to the 20, it's not too bad. Not too bad.
I'd say that's a win.
Yeah, a big win, though, since the ball just barely crawled out of bounds in favor of the Trenton Bulldogs. 1st and 10, THS, ball at the 35-yard line. Trenton is in need of a couple of big plays. They need a play with points just to get their feet under them. A couple of big plays, getting it a one-score game would be really ideal. Here's the pitch coming left side, and Lamp's going to be unable to turn the corner. He had his momentum stopped all the way back at the 32, and he had nowhere to go. Lexington has been beaten Trenton to the football all night long. 69, Clayton Breeden, who is... Sometimes you see guys like this, the big old freshman, 250 pounds. That number 69 freshman, I would hate to see him in 4 years, and they're on our schedule. We're going to see him in 4 years.
Yeah, whenever a freshman comes out and just, plays the way that they've been playing, that always makes you nervous as a freshman, or whenever you're a young kid as well.
Trenton has a freshman named Jaden Whitney, starter on the line, but he's out tonight. A little bit of a minor bang-up injury. There's a pass into the flat, and the ball is incomplete. Is it a fumble? Bobbled by Leaper. It is a fumble. They're going to say it's a backward pass. It rolls to the 21-yard line. There to pick it up is Lexington. McCarter tried to get the ball to Leaper. Lexington got on it, and they're going to say Lexington football. It's not a traditional fumble, but I don't know if there's going to be a big beef over there from Coach Boswell. To the naked eye, that looked like it was a backward pass. It was hard to tell for sure, but it looked like it was maybe a half yard to a yard thrown backwards toward Travis.
Yeah, and you spoke about the reaction of Coach Boswell. He doesn't seem too upset with the refs about that, so I think that it was a backward pass. And, whenever it's a backward pass, if you're the quarterback, you got to make sure that's on target and the catch gets made.
Well, and I'm kind of going back to my memory bank, too. The snap was about the 32-yard line. The ball rolled back to about the 22, and it was kind of bobbled by Travis there at the 26, so those numbers aren't adding up real well for Trenton. Here's the direct snap, running it right side, breaking tackles, and churning to the 18-yard line is DeHaven McCrary of Lexington. The thing with football is, and I said this a couple of minutes ago, we can sit here and say, we need to play, we need to play, we need to play. Eventually, if you just keep on giving up 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, you're going to look up at the end of the night. It's going to be about 45-0.
Yeah, Lexington's been proving that so far tonight.
And Trenton's staring at that right now. It's already 20-0, just past the halfway point of the second quarter. Gasser gives the ball off to the tailback, Lynn, and that was a nice-looking play by Trey Shields.
Trey Shields had an amazing game last week against Carrollton. It seemed like in every single tackle all over the field.
We've heard a lot, and we talked even off the air about this senior class and how focused they are in returning Bulldog football to where it was 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago. This is kind of a test for them because this is bringing back memories of the last year, a couple of years ago. We've had games like this on the road. Let's see how they react. 3rd down and 3. Big shift coming to the left side. Lynn's going to line up left wing back here. Now he'll go in motion back to the right side. Handoff, or the direct snap rather, goes to Shepard. He's through the middle, close to the first down. Maybe a yard short, half yard short, somewhere in that area. Looks like the first down marker is at about the 12-yard line, and the yard marker goes to the 13. 4th and 1. Going for Lexington. I don't want to call anything a must stop, but this is close. You're going to get to a must stop in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think so. Right before the half, keeping it less than 4 scores down, you got to get the stop here.
Yeah, 20-0 is doable. It's not at all where the Bulldogs want to be. You start looking at 28, 27-0, and that's not good. There's a high snap. It's going to roll into the backfield. Lexington's going to chase it down, and buried in the backfield by Colton Neff is Cooper Lynn. Bulldogs needed a break. I don't care how the Bulldogs got the defensive play. We got the break. Now we'll see if we can turn it into points and at least get the offense churning a little bit, because we got the guys offensively get the job done. Got to get that job done right now. We got the momentum turning at least a little bit.
Yeah, after a great play on 4th down, you got to get the offense on track there.
So this could really be a telling series of downs for the Bulldogs. If the Bulldogs can turn this break, that's about a 20-yard loss on a snap that went right through the hands of the quarterback. If the Bulldogs can turn it into points the other way, 2-score lead going into halftime, best case scenario, that's not terrible for Trenton. Trenton will give the football up to begin the third quarter. Here's McCarter through the middle, fakes the ball to Neff, and he gets 10 yards. I think Cale has a first down out to the 45-yard line. So we'll give that. If they do give him the 45, it's a first down. I think they're going to say Cale was stopped with the nose of the football at the 45. From what I'm seeing, that should be first down yardage. Referees are looking at it. I don't know why. Now they're going to measure it. No, they're not. Now it's going to be a first down. If you look at it right there, this should be pretty simple. If the ball gets to the chalk on the 45, it's a first down. Because the ball was at about, the 34.5-yard line, right?
Yeah, but, as a player, I know those refs like to discuss things that you would think aren't that much discussion. But
Make them look smart.
Yeah.
That book smart referee. 3:13 to go in the first half. The clock could become a factor for Trenton on this drive. We shall see. Under center is Cale McCarter. Takes the snap, back to pass, throws right side, caught by Mullenix, splits a tackle at the 40. He's ahead to the 30, down the sideline to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and tripped up at the 5-yard line is Cream Mullenix. A touchdown-saving tackle down there by the Minutemen. But that's a couple of times tonight now. We've seen that hook up McCarter to Mullenix, and that was beautifully done there by the Bulldogs, Jacob.
Yes, it was. Just a great play by Cream Mullenix. They ran that same slant pattern that had success for him earlier, and then Mullenix just showed his speed and athleticism and got all the way to the end, almost all the way to the end zone.
Now there should be no worries about the clock for the Bulldogs. It's 4 down territory. Bulldogs need 6. First and goal from the 7-yard line. McCarter will take the football, hands it off. Neff, hard yards through the middle. Looks like he got to the 5, maybe the 4. We'll give Colton Neff 3 yards on that carry. 2 3/4 minutes to go in the first half of play. Well, points aren't on the board yet, but what would a touchdown here? What's the difference psychologically between being down 3 scores and 2 scores at the half?
Well, as a player, mentally, you go into the locker room and you're down 2 scores after just scoring, and you think, all right, this is a close game. We can come out here and we can still win this. Being down 3 scores, it kind of makes you feel a little bit nervous about the second half.
I'll expound on that a little bit, too, because a lot of times, and there's a lot of truth in this, the most dangerous lead in sports is a 2-score lead. Let's see if the Bulldogs can get it to that 2-score lead. McCarter hands it off to Neff, and it's pretty congested in there. Colton got the ball, and there was just not a lot of room. There's a guy wearing number 56, Trey Coolin, who is in on the play for Lexington. Biggest 2 plays of this early season for Trenton, very fair to say, are coming up because Trenton needs 6 points, and they're going to have to get 4 yards in the next 2 plays to get it.
Yeah, and you would hope as a coach that your offensive line can get you 4 yards down in the goal line, but Lexington's been pretty tough when it counted, so let's see what happens.
Lexington's been tough running wide or running inside. Trenton has not had a ton of success with either. Lined up wide to the left here is Mullenix. McCarter takes the football, throws, intercepted at the 1. Intercepted and bring it back to the 10. Getting blocking out in front to the 20 and tripped up at the 35-yard line was the Lexington player. I saw the number there. There he is, Trey Coolin. He read the eyes of McCarter. McCarter tried to get that to Connor Cotton at tight end, if I'm not mistaken, and just never saw the linebacker moving off to the left.
Yeah, they ran a very similar play last week against Carrollton for a touchdown where Connor Cotton just got his body in position in the goal line, and him being a big tight end, McCarter just put it on him, and it was a touchdown. Unfortunately, that wasn't the result this time.
Oh, that was tough for the Bulldogs. Ever so close to at least getting it to 20-6. Instead, Coolin makes the huge play for Lexington, and it's going to be first down and 10. Trenton is actually fortunate that wasn't a pick 6. Could have easily gone 6 the other way. Trenton stopped Coolin at the 34-yard line. Here comes the quarterback, Gasson on the keeper. Banged down by a gaggle of Bulldogs. They look like a frustrated Bulldog team, but sometimes frustration, if you keep it within the rules and you come up and you make a clean hit, that's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, you're hoping that the frustration can charge their defense to make good plays rather than end up with stupid penalties.
Well, yeah, I think we both saw it there from Cale McCarter. He looked frustrated. He didn't have it go into playing dirty, though.
Yeah.
So, he's just playing hard. Second down and 9. 45 seconds to go in the first half. Again, Trenton will be kicking the football away to Lexington to begin the third quarter. Snap and the handoff. Nope, I beg your pardon. Rolling to his right is Gasson, sacked from behind. Big time play made by Cream Mullenix. I'll say this for the Bulldogs, it is 20-0, and that was a devastating, for lack of a better word, I think that's a pretty accurate term there, interception at the goal line. But we're seeing more, just good stuff. We're seeing more energy. We're seeing more guys get to the football for the guys in black and gold right now.
Yeah, the second quarter's been a different story than the first. It seemed more like a neck-and-neck game, whereas the first it seemed like Lexington had the upper hand.
21.9 seconds to go in the second quarter. What are you thinking here if you're a coach? I think Trenton has some timeouts here. We got a pretty good punt return game. There's 21 seconds left. You get a stop here. You call timeout, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you at least give him a chance because, I mean, you never know what could happen.
I don't know. He's pretty good. I don't know if he's best in the state in class too, but I'd take my chances with Leap back there.
Yeah, Leap's always a guy that, if you're in a tight spot, you might just give him the ball and see what he can do with it.
We have another, I don't know if it's a timeout or just kind of a delay in the action. 27 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Lexington faces 3rd and 15 from the 30. There's the run through the middle. Shepard across the 32-yard line. See that so often with the single wing. Snap the ball to your guy. Guy puts his head down, and it's not fancy. It's block here, block there, and see if you can get that crease, right?
Yeah, I'd tell you what, if I'm Lexington's running backs, I am buying my guard and center some kind of food after the
big
game.
Old steak?
Yeah, they have not run hardly anything outside the tackles here. It has been all straight up the middle, and it has been working.
We're seeing some signs that the Bulldogs, emotionally, physically, trying to get back into this ball game, but they got a mountain to climb as we go into the second half. We've reached halftime. A little bit surprised the Bulldogs didn't utilize a timeout there. But we run to the end of the first half. Bulldogs will be kicking it away to the Minutemen to start the second half. We have our halftime show, including some stats from Mr. Marlay. Coming up in 2 minutes, it's 20-0 Lexington at the break. You're listening to Bulldog Football on Hot Country Z 101.7. Welcome back. Gil Rector Stadium in Lexington, Missouri. The Lexington Minutemen leading the Trenton Bulldogs by a score of 20-0. We've again shifted sides here. I've gone to the left side of the press box. We have the video camera, which you can go to, video archives at www.kgozfm.com. We're just about, if you want to listen to the radio and watch on video, I don't know if I'd recommend that. If you want to, I'm not going to tell you not to, but there's about a 30-second delay between my voice live and the voice that you'll hear through the video camera if you're watching at home. So take it for what it's worth. Maybe have the radio on in one room, then you can come in real smart if Trent gets a touchdown, and 30 seconds later you can go, there it is on my TV, iPhone, whatever is your mode here in 2015 of logging on to the World Wide Web. Even the computer will work for that sort of stuff as well. 12 minutes on the clock, talking late in the second quarter about how Trenton is going to have to kick the football away to Lexington here to start the second half of play. That's just kind of the what Trenton's dealt. Trenton got the football to start the ball game. Here's Colton Neff booting the football away. Good kick by the senior. He drives it down to the 15. Bringing the ball the other way to the Minutemen, and dropped on a big-time tackle by Colton Allen is Blake Johnson. Good tackle there by the Trenton Bulldogs. We saw a lot of big-time hits. Lexington laid on our guys in the first half. Nice to kind of repay the favor, isn't it, Jake?
Yeah, and Colton Allen there almost looked like he was going to get the ball out, and that would have been a great turnover for Trenton to start the game.
Yeah, you look for hits like that, and whenever I see a hit like that, I'm looking football. I'm seeing a pretty good job there, I thought, by Johnson not to fumble that football away, because that was a good football hit. Clean, right on the shoulder pad. 1st and 10, Lexington from the 29-yard line. There is the snap, and stopped at the line of scrimmage. Coming near side was Warren Shepard. That time the Bulldogs were waiting for him. McCarter came up with Berkebile to make the stop. It's only a couple of plays in, but we're seeing a more excited, more energetic Bulldog defense.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing I've been taking note of is that Colton Neff has been making plays on the defensive side of the ball all game, and we're used to seeing him making plays on the offensive side of the ball.
Maybe a half yard on that carry by Shepard. See who gets the football here on this snap. A lot of guys it could go to. It goes to Shepard. Sweet play going left side. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. You just mentioned him. Number 33, Colton Neff, came up and blew that play up. That's a great-looking play by Neff. He's been a better defender than an offender tonight.
Yes, he has. He's been making his presence known on the edge there, and that's the first time, well, not the first time, but one of the rare times this whole game Lexington has run outside of the tackles, and it looked like a mistake for them.
Yeah, it might be self-motivation, but something tells me that the Dogs got a little bit of a backside chewing in the locker room. What's kind of the best halftime locker room speech you can remember got you guys fired up for the second half?
I don't remember particular halftime locker room speeches, but I know that, coaches always do a good job of getting the guys fired up.
It's kind of more of just a conglomeration. Back to pass. There's the throw down the middle. Ball is right there for the first down. That's a great-looking throw by Reese Gasson. He had pressure right off the middle. Got his. He throwing, and he threw a dart to Blake Johnson. Yeah, as much as you'd like to say Trenton should have done something different, that was well played by the Bulldogs. That's a great-looking pass by Lexington.
Yeah, it was a great throw and a great catch by the tight end who just stopped right in the middle of the field, and I don't think Cale McCarter was ready for it.
It was the same sort of pass, a little bit longer because they needed first down yardage, but the same sort of thing that the Bulldogs are looking for to Cotton on the interception.
Yeah, exactly.
A little slant pattern to your at tight end. First down in 10 from the 42. Here's a sweep plate. Gasson, he's going to be spun down after he spun his way into a gain of 2. How difficult is it when you don't know who's getting the football? Snap.
It's pretty difficult. You just have to make sure that you know which guy you've got, and then if you see the ball carrier right next to you and you don't even realize it, you gotta be quick on your feet.
How much can Trenton try to tackle the football here, try to get a turnover? You can, but that's dangerous too. You got to make sure you make the tackle in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to go for it. That's just fundamental football.
If the other guy, if guy 1 has it wrapped up, guy 2 goes for the football. That's kind of the rules of the game. Here's a run right side, stopped short of the first down, short of midfield was the Lexington running back. Nice tackle made by Shields, and it looks like the running back, Cooper Lynn of Lexington, gets up with a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he got an ankle turn, maybe he got a knee turn, but definitely a limp for Cooper Lynn as he comes off the field. Did you see anything specific there other than just maybe got banged in the knee?
No, I didn't see anything. I'm guessing it happened down in the pile, and the way he ran off the field, I think it was lower leg or ankle, and that looks like that's what they're taking a look at.
Yeah, they're looking at the right ankle. I'm sure he had that baby turned as he went down. Third down and 4, and here's Gasson running left side at midfield, stopped, and he's down at midfield. Be awfully brassy here of Coach Barkley to go for it on 4th and 3 with his team up by 20. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it. I'm actually kind of hoping they kick it to the Bulldogs because that guarantees you getting the football. It's an awfully interesting call here on 4th and 2 for Lexington.
Yeah, and we talked about earlier whenever they had a similar 4th down situation how they'd been getting those sort of short yardage plays, so it seemed like an easier decision. But with this fired up defense, I think it's a much tougher decision.
This gives Trenton opportunity. 4th and 2. The Minutemen are going for it. Now they're going to back up, and the punt is coming. And the ball's going to be driven down to the 20. Takes a Trenton a hop back to the 21-yard line. Picking it up there for Lexington is Colin Rector. We've seen that from Coach Boswell, too, where you at least see what the defense gives you. Then if they don't give you what you're looking for, you can back up a yard or 2 and punt the football away. It's a pretty good move by Lexington. I would have punted it there just because Lexington's up 20-0. You play field position at that point.
Yeah, I would have punted it as well, but more just because the Trenton defense has been so fired up. That's a crucial big play there, and I think they made the right call.
Yeah, you give Trenton the possession now where Trenton needs to go 78 yards to just get first points of the game on the board, and time is starting to become a factor. 8 minutes and change to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs down by a score of 20-0. Here's a keeper by McCarter. He gets a little bit of yardage, hit at the 25, and leans forward to the 26-yard line. Tackle made on the play by Cooper Lynn. So Lynn just a moment ago, Jacob, was on the sideline getting his right ankle looked at. My guess is he got it taped up. He's a tough football player. Number 33 is back out there on the field playing middle linebacker.
Yeah, you spoke about it earlier. 33s are making plays all over the field in both uniforms tonight.
5-yard gain for McCarter on the run to the left side. Here's Molinek split out left for the Bulldogs. McCarter ducks under center. The senior quarterback takes the football. He'll keep it, running around right end. Now he cuts back to the middle. He gets a block from Molinek. He's to the 40, to the midfield stripe. 45, stays on his feet. To the 40, down the sideline. Does he go out of bounds? He does, right at the 37-yard line. If there was another half yard on this near sideline, He has 6 points on that. That was really good open field running, using his blockers by Kale McCarter.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, I basically called Kale McCarter out in the second half, and maybe you heard what I said, and he's trying to step it up here.
I wanted to go. These are high school kids. We don't call them out as much as you just did. But you know what? If it works, we'll do it again.
I mean, he's showing me, that's for sure.
Through an interception, he got called out at halftime. But he responds. He responds like a champ. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. 7:21 to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs with a little bit of building momentum. Pitch goes out wide to Leeper. He gets the block. He turns the corner. He's at the 40, 35, 30. Stays on his feet inside the 25. Down close to the 24-yard line. You also said, quite frankly, at the half that we haven't given the ball to number 11 enough. And they get the ball to number 11 on that play for a good forward yardage momentum play.
Yeah, really, at this point, I'm really just thinking that they played our halftime show in the locker room for the guys to listen to. That's what it's looking like.
It tells me that I got a former Bulldog sitting next to me, too. You've been in that hollow. You know what they're going to be talking about at halftime.
Yep, very true.
1st and 10 from the 24-yard line for THS. McCarter overlooking the field, looks to his right, now back under center, takes the football from senior Tucker Franklin, and he keeps it back behind Franklin. He gets a block cutting back to his left. And that is a gain of 4, and we can hear assistant coach Greg Dalrymple over here. He's saying, let's go, which is indicating to me that they're trying to get a little bit of rhythm going here in the offense.
Yeah, and I mean, so far they've been successfully getting that rhythm with a huge play by Kale McCarter and then a very explosive play by Travis Leeper.
2nd down and 6. The ball down to the 19-yard line for THS. Getting a little bit of an angle. Do the best I can here on the call. The ball is on the far hash mark, which is more helpful for me on the angle from the press box here at Gil Rector than it is on the near hatch. So let's keep it over there and put 6 points on the board. Get it to 20-6. It's 20-0 midway through the third. Keeper McCarter runs it left side, cuts back to the middle, stays on his feet, one more cut to the right, and he's gone to 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown Bulldogs, a much needed touchdown for the black and gold as McCarter takes it in from 19 yards out, and Trenton is right back into this ball game. 6:22 to go in the third quarter. Cale McCarter from 19 yards out gets Trenton points in the ball game. Very simple thing to say, and we know this is true, Jacob, but in order for Trenton to even think about getting a road win, they had to get on the board. That's a big touchdown for the black and gold.
Yeah, I think the black and gold have come out in this second half, and they played exactly like they want to play, running the football with great effect and getting good stops on defense.
We'll let Trenton go for 2 or the 1. If they go for 1 here, it's a 13-point game, so I think they're looking extra points. Maybe 2, we shall see. Looks like the extra point. Yeah, Colton F's lining up to kick the extra point. McCarter with the hold. Snaps good, holds good, kick up, kick looks good. It's through. Low line drive tracer. Colton F bangs it through, and with 6:22 to go in the third quarter, it's Lexington 20. Bulldogs with momentum. Trenton is 7. We're back in 30 seconds on Hot Country Z 101.7. (27) 2-0 to 7. Somewhat wild. That's only 1 touchdown. Need 2 more. That was a nice run. That was 2 nice cuts. Back to the right once and twice.
Cale stepping it up in the second half, that's for sure.
Hey, the good news here, man, is even if they do, we're okay because we got our 0 call. We're all right there.
20-7. Lexington with the lead. Trenton with momentum. It looks like a Bulldog team, but quite frankly, this is what I keep thinking, Jacob. Where Trenton says, would we like to go 9-0? That would be wonderful if we go 9-0. We might not go 9-0, but we're a heck of a lot better football team than we showed in the first half. That looked like it was a type of speech that has inspired these Trenton boys in the third quarter.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that speech at halftime was probably some of Boswell's finest work, and it really worked on these guys. Their offense looks much better. Their defense looks much better.
Yeah, if you looked at this game just on paper, I know games aren't won on paper, that's cliche, but it looked like an even matchup. First half was not an even matchup. Trenton they needed to get the old want-to meter up to about 100, and they got it there right now. Here's the kick by Neff. Booms it away into the thick air here at Lexington. The ball taken at the 10. It's Lynn coming back the other way, gets a crease to the 30, out to the 40, and he's across the 40 in the midfield, knocked out of bounds there, just into Trenton territory by Colton Neff. It's not a touchdown, but that's a big punt return for Lexington. It gives Lexington momentum, but let's see if the Bulldogs can get a 3 and outs. They're going to need to do it at some point on the field. They don't want to do it at midfield, but that's what they have to do at this point.
Yeah, I spoke at the beginning of the show about how really the one weak spot for the Bulldogs last week against Carrollton was their special teams defense, and it's looking like there might be a little bit of cracks in that as well.
Kickoff return specifically you're referring to?
Kickoff return and punt return.
Okay. So something that Jacob says. Obviously I wasn't there, so I'm kind of leaning on his expertise on that one. First down and 10, Lexington. Lexington up 20-7. Bulldog defense trying to keep momentum on the side of the visitors. 6 on the line. Here is Shepard through the middle, bangs to the 46-yard line, a gain of 4. And this is what we've seen from Lexington a lot. We've seen one big passing play for Lexington. Other than that, it's been about 5 yards in a cloud of dust. But we haven't seen a turnover picked up by the Bulldog defense.
No, not yet, and I'm sure that the Bulldog defense is just chomping at the bit waiting for that, and we'll see if they can get one here.
And let's see what it does to Lexington. This is the first time Lexington's giving up points, and it took over 6.5 quarters in order for that to happen. Lexington won last week, 35-0 at Tipton. Now Lexington has given up points. Power shown left side here to Haven, the running it back. Now the handoff coming to the near side. Bulldogs bid on it, I should say. And dragging tacklers down to the 36-yard line is Lorenzo Crumble. He's a 170-pound sophomore, and quite frankly, you saw that kid. We haven't seen him all game long, Jacob. He gets the ball, and Trenton bit the other way. He has a lot of speed and elusiveness. That was kind of a scary-looking play.
Yeah, and you said that he hasn't gotten the ball at all this game, and I think that might have honestly been why Trenton bit so hard. You see a guy that you haven't seen touch the ball all game go in motion. You don't think he's getting the ball, but he proved them wrong.
That's a really hard play to stop when all the momentum's going left, and all of a sudden here comes a fast guy coming back right. 9 out of the 11 guys for Trenton all running the wrong direction. That is scary. That can open up quick. First and 10 for the Minutemen. Trimble the motion man. The snap goes to Shepard. He runs it forward. Bangs helmets down to the 35-yard line of the Bulldogs. Making the tackle, Connor Cotton, and Connor looks like he's limping a little bit out there. Do you see anything that's favoring number 44 out there in the middle of the field?
Well, he's got a knee brace on that right knee, and it looks like it might be bothering him a little bit, but he looks like he's going to stay in the game, and he looks like he's okay.
He kind of has that Colton Neff look of, once you get into the game, you don't need to have that jersey tucked in.
Yeah.
Cotton's out there, jersey hanging out. Neff kind of has that look from time to time, too. It's second down and 7 for the Minutemen. 20-7, Lexington on top. 4.5 to go in the third quarter. The snap goes to DeHaven, stood up, dropped by a gang of Bulldogs. He didn't make the stop, but he's the guy I saw, so I'm going to give credit there to Mason Owen, the sophomore, number 64. He kind of came in from behind. His buddies stopped everybody, then Mason started tugging on people and made sure that there was no more gain.
Well, I'll tell you what, credit there really needs to go to that whole Bulldog defensive front, because they popped that Lexington offensive line straight up on their toes.
Yeah, and that looked like a stop at the line of scrimmage in the naked eye. That's a loss of 2. It goes from 2nd and 5 to 3rd and 7 at the 35-yard line. The ball right between the hash marks. Coach Barkley, you're running that single wing, and it's been tough for the Bulldogs to stop consistently tonight. There's the fake and the run, and stopped by Kuhn is the quarterback, Gasson. Gasson faked that pitch, and when you talk about don't bite on the fake pitch, well, big Isaiah Kuhn did not bite at all, and number 67 made a huge stop for Trenton.
Yeah, last week after halftime of the Carrollton game, it seemed like the linebackers came out on the field and they were jazzed up and making tackles in the backfield. This week it seems like the defensive line is coming out here and they're ready to make some plays.
Trenton now trying to get a stop, maybe forcing a punt. It's in that kind of in-between position here for Lexington. Ball at the 37, 4th and 9. We'll see if Lexington punts it or not. They're not a huge down here to going for it. Lexington lines up 4 wide. Well, I tell you what there, Jake, when you've been seeing the single wing all game long and it's 4th and 9 and all of a sudden you got 2 wideouts on each side for Lexington, I can guarantee you the Trenton defenders, they probably had eyes as big as saucers, and defensive coordinator Eric Coffey, I guarantee he was over there going, guys, we got to talk this over. This is unexpected. They call timeout. It's a really wise timeout in that situation.
Yeah, definitely a really wise timeout. You know, we don't see a 4-wide set at all in high school football, let alone from Lexington so far in this game. And, you know, I don't think the Bulldogs were prepared for it. Thankfully, now they're going to get a chance to talk it over.
Now, 4th and 9, if you punt it here, and you say, if you're Lexington and you punt and you get it inside the 10-yard line, it's a really wise decision. Even if you're only picking up 30 yards, you're really backing up Trenton. You're forcing the Bulldogs to go 90, 95, 99 yards. If Lexington goes for it and doesn't make it, yeah, they give Trenton decent field position, but it's not great field position. Trenton still has to go 65 yards. So going for it on 4th and 9, it's not a bad gamble for Lexington. I don't mind the call here by Coach Barkley.
Yeah, it's kind of not an awful call either way you look at it, because you punt it and you have the chance of pinning them back against the goal line, but you also have the chance of it being a touchback, but then again you go for it, have a chance of getting a first down.
Let me ask you, and this will probably give me an idea on whether you're kind of go for it coach or whether you're kind of a conservative coach. Would you punt it here or would you not? I think I'd punt it just because it's 4th and 9, and why not try to pin Trenton deep? Even if you kick it to the end zone, yeah, you feel like you only gained 15 yards, but you're still forcing Trenton to go 80 in the worst case scenario.
I think if you're the coach, you punt it, because if you don't punt it and you lose, then you're sending a defense out there that you just showed you have no confidence in.
This is also the question of if it's 4th down and 5 or less. I think there's no question from the 37-yard line where it is right now. I think there's no question you go for it because your chances of making it are better. This is a good conversation we're having, because between 5 and 10 yards, it's kind of, to me, that 50-50 call. I don't know what I'd do. I'd kick it, but I can't hold it against Coach Barkley for going for it if he wants to do. Obviously, that looked like a trick play or something that Lexington was throwing out to really throw Trenton off.
Mm-hmm. I just think it comes to the confidence in your defense.
Now Lexington's going to line up in the punt. So Lexington to punt it away. They gave Trenton a look. Oh boy, Trenton was awfully close to that punt. It is boomed to the 20-yard line. Trenton's going to get away from it. It's going to roll down to the 14-yard line. Awfully close there to that punt was Mason Owen of Trenton. So, you know, and if you're looking at Coach Barkley, there's one heck of a kind of a really fun chess match going on right now, because what Coach Barkley did right there is he forced Trenton down by 2 scores to burn a timeout. That could really hurt Trenton in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it really could whenever you just show that wild play that they're not expecting and force them to give up a timeout.
Ooh, well, I tell you what, Trenton just got called for 12 men on the field. Coach, I think that's Coach Boswell out there at the 35-yard line, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's not happy.
So.
He is not happy. 12 men on the field. I think that's going to make it, instead of 3rd and 9, it's going to be 3rd and 4. Assuming, or 4th and 4, I beg your pardon. I misspoke with the 3rd, but 4th and 4, that makes the decision for Lexington that makes it much different.
Yeah, definitely, because, you know, you go back to now, earlier we were talking about confidence in the defense. Now you're talking about confidence in your offensive line. They've been getting you the 3 and 4 yards all day, but, you know, can they do it in the second half?
We talked at halftime of if the other team makes the play, you shake their hand and say, job well done, you just beat us on that play. There was a little bit too much in the first half of Trenton hurting Trenton.
Yeah.
That play right there, we'll see how much it hurts. So that's Trenton hurting Trenton.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 12 men on the field. And they have the first down. I thought for sure that was 12 men on the field. They have the first down marker over there across the way. I think that is for Trenton at about the 18-yard line. I think they're going to back this up here and put it at the 32 because it's a 5-yard penalty. I'm very clear that I saw 10 men on the field as the call from the referee. Are they calling that right? I thought it was at the 37, guys. Maybe not as clear as I thought. Do you have any better idea than I do at this point?
Not at all. I'm not good at deciphering the ref's calls.
They kicked it from the 37. And then they started moving it from the 32. They moved it from the 32 down to the 18.
It was 4th down and 9 from the 36.
It was down at the, it was at the 37-yard line, which I remember very, very clearly. And now it's first down. Lexington, I have no idea what's going on. I think Trenton just got, I think the Bulldogs just got the raw end of the stick there.
Yeah, it definitely appears that way from the
Unless I'm missing something major there. It's 1st and 10 Lexington. I have no idea what was called against the Bulldogs, but here's the direct snap coming right side, and hit down is Reese Gasson down to the 26-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 16. Trenton's going to have to rise up here. 2:27, 2:23 now to go in the third quarter. 20-7 the lead for the Lexington Minutemen. There was at least 15 yards that was called on that penalty, and I have no idea what 15 yards is for. Here's Lynn coming left side. It's going to be running it to the corner, breaking a tackle at the goal line and going in for 6. Is Cooper Lynn. I was hearing a hold from Coach Dalrymple up here in the box, and there's a big penalty flag. It's sitting right in the middle of the field at the 10-yard line. Boy, the Trenton staff was all over that one. They're screaming hold from just about the time that Cooper Lynn took that football on the misdirection, racing to that far sideline. It looks like that's coming back. And I still have no idea what happened there on that play on the punt, and we have a former Bulldog here who has less idea than I do at this point. He's trying to figure it out. And
yeah, I'm completely dumbfounded about that call. I have no idea what that was.
That's one of those plays where you just wish you knew what was going on, because you don't know if the referees completely got kind of discombobulated on where the football was and what the penalty was, or if we just don't realize what was called, and I'm not sure. 1:58 to go in the third quarter, 20-7 the lead. Lexington just had 6 points taken off the board on a hold on what would have been a 10-yard touchdown run by Cooper Lynn. Who gets the football here? It's going to be Gasson throwing, catch, made, nope, dropped. That was a sloppy-looking play. The ball hit the Lexington receiver right in the hands, but it was sloppy. A couple of Lexington players right in the area. Cale McCarter came over and at least got a little shot to the shoulder there to knock that football out. Now let's look at it here. There's 1:52 left to go in the third quarter, Jacob. Trenton's had a tough break against him from what we can tell. It's still a two-score game, and if Trenton can hold out Lexington, the Bulldogs are still very much alive in this game.
Yeah, definitely, and after a rough and confusing penalty, if they can get the stop here, I mean, that just kind of shows that Trenton's got luck on their side.
3rd and 12 from the 20. Gasson will take the snap. He looks left. He throws left toward the end zone. Trenton looking for a knockdown of the ball, and it is knocked down. That looked like almost a comeback sort of pass attempt out there. And it hit the receiver. It looked like Dylan Von Rompe in the hands, at least in the area, but it looked like pretty good coverage. I think it was Jonathan Lamp out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was as well. And, you know, whenever I first saw that ball thrown, I thought deja vu of the Cale McCarter play earlier where he didn't turn his head, but thankfully Jonathan Lamp did turn his head, and he got the pass knocked away.
Now you look at must plays here for the Bulldogs. 4th and 12 from the 21. Buck 46 left to go in the third. Trenton down 13. Taking the snap, Gasson. Trenton in. There's a hold on the play. Was it going to be called? I'm not sure. And the pass is incomplete. Nice coverage by Leeper. He went up nose to nose with the intended target, Blake Johnson. The pass was incomplete. Did you see what I saw there as well? We had one of our guys, I think it was Neff, coming right side there. He made a move to the inside left side, and the guy grabbed him right by the shoulder pad. No call, but there was incomplete, so I guess it's a moot point, but...
Well, I mean, whenever you got a guy like Neff who's been making plays on the defense all day, you know, you tell your guy, you do whatever you can to stop him.
Even if you have to grab him, because you know what? You can grab a guy, and case in point there, it doesn't mean you're going to get called 100% of the time. You never know. 1:41 to go in the third. Bulldogs down 20-7. We have seen magic for Trenton on this field in past years. 2008 immediately comes to mind. Trenton won it in the last 30 seconds. Here's McCarter racing right side. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and knocked down. He got stood up by the Lexington defense, and once his momentum was stopped, the rest of the guys in blue came up to stop McCarter for no gain. 2nd down and 10. Trenton, 1:25 to go in the third quarter. At the very least, Boy, for a 20-0 game at the half, the intensity level's gone way ratcheted up in this game in the third quarter. That's a credit to the Bulldogs. They are the ones that have brought the intensity.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely been a completely different game in the second half, whereas in the first half it felt like the Bulldogs need to change things up. Now it feels like they're really playing hard.
1:05 to go in the third quarter. Clock is rolling. Bulldogs facing a 2nd down and 10. Cale McCarter under center for THS. The motion man is Lamp. The handoff goes to Neff through the middle. He cuts to the right, stays on his feet. First down yardage as he rumbles like a runaway freight train down to the 37-yard line. I said Neff. I think that was Berkebile.
I think it was Schuler.
Was it? 37. I think you're right on that. There you go. 37, not 27. Logan Schuler did his best Colton Neff impersonation, and I think Schuler was the last guy in the world that the Minutemen defense expected to get the football. That's a great-looking run by Logan. 42 seconds to go in the third. Bulldogs with momentum. Got to stop now, have the football. Trying to make it a one-score game. Keeper by McCarter. He spun down at the 41. A gain of 4. Those are the type of plays. They won't have any headlines. They won't be used in the morning. But 4-yard and 5-yard gains by your quarterback, that's a really good football play for Trenton. That is moving sticks in the good direction.
Yeah, and we saw that in the first half by Lexington, and now Trenton's doing a good job at it, so let's see if it brings them the same success.
You just feel like Trenton's very much in this football game. They're one big play away from making it a one-score game in the fourth quarter. McCarter, handoff, Neff, Colton puts his shoulder pads down, drags tacklers near the 45-yard line, maybe just a touch across the 45 as we come to the end of the third. Live from Rector Field in Lexington, it's Minutemen 20, Trenton Bulldogs 7. Fourth quarter comes up in a minute on Hot Country Z 101.7.
That was Schuler again, Tom.
Was it?
Yeah.
He looks like Neff, you know it?
Yeah, he does.
I think he's playing his position, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
You want to switch up positions here since Trenton's going to that goal?
That would be better. If we could cut it.
Or are you pretty comfortable there?
Have
Okay.
our center come up to Mike.
Twenty to 7, end of the third quarter.
At this time, we want to acknowledge our friends across the field where it goes really
Now, that's Trenton's one score for making this really interesting, too. They just need to get a touchdown. You know touchdowns are worth 6 points, right? Okay. You get the ball at the 3. You can either kick it through the goalpost for 1 point or run it or pass it in for 2. There you go, yeah. Welcome back to Gil Rector Stadium in Lexington. Tom Johnson along with you. Jacob Marlay running the color. We also have video tonight from beautiful Lexington Mo on our video archives page at kgozfm.com. 12 minutes on the clock. 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs, just short of the 45-yard line. Senior quarterback Cale McCarter with the football. Neff flanked behind him. Colton gets the football. First down. He got low. He broke a tackle, and he dove right into the back of the legs of Connor Cotton out at the 48-yard line for a first down. It doesn't feel like yet, and I say yet in parentheses because it will eventually. But Trenton doesn't have to worry about the clock, at least for about the next 5 to 6 minutes. If Trenton can get this within a touchdown, about anywhere from the 7 to 8 minute mark on, boy, I like the Bulldog chances.
Yeah, this is the drive where, cross your fingers that this is a scoring drive where you kind of take your time, whereas the next drive, it's let's get it down the field.
Yeah, if this is a scoring drive, it's anybody's game. If it's not, Trenton's going to have a tough time tonight. This is a huge drive right here. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Back is McCarter. He gets tripped up at midfield, and he stumbles forward into Minutemen territory down to the 48-yard line. We're seeing a lot more of that, too. I don't know how well on the triple option here that the Lexington defense is reading McCarter, because McCarter, we saw this on the touchdown run, he's been able to get some good yardage through the middle and make some Lexington linebackers miss.
Well, I saw on that particular play that the Lexington linebackers were both blitzing on the inside, and then whenever you don't hand the ball off to Neff going on the inside, that's just wide open green grass for Cale.
I've called Neff a couple of times. It's been Schuler, so I'm watching for 37. Right now it is Neff. The pitch goes out left side to Lamp. He cuts against the grain at the 45, stays on his feet to the 40, and rumbles forward to the 36-yard line of Lexington. When you talk about what does Coach Boswell want to do with these athletes that Trenton has in the backfield to get them working, and we just saw it. You got McCarter keeping. He has some good elusive moves. You got Neff. He's like the road grader in there, getting 5. And then you get the ball out wide to Lamp, and that's where Lamp becomes really dangerous.
Yeah, the Trenton backfield is deep and deadly, that's for sure.
Neff behind McCarter, motion man leaper. McCarter hands it off through the middle, across the 30 to the 27-yard line. Who was it? Was that Neff?
Yeah, that was Neff.
Okay, I saw Neff and Mullenix. I figure it was Colton with the football. Gain of 8. Neff's one of those guys, too. That looked like a 4-yard run that Colton turned into 8.
Yeah, kept his legs moving and got the extra yardage.
Down to the 28-yard line. Trenton down 20-7. 10:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Tom Johnson with you from Gil Rector Stadium. Motion man is Leaper. And the handoff goes through the middle. I'm not sure if that's going to be first down yardage. It was a very, very minimal, if at all, for the Trenton running back. McCarter kept it for the Bulldogs, and it'll be 3rd down and 1. No gain on the play. We go under 10 minutes to go in quarter number 4. This is Hot Country Z101.7. Your home of the Trenton Bulldogs. The next 8 Friday nights will be here. We hope it's about the next 13. That means we end the season in St. Louis. The goal for everybody. Motion man is Lamp. Keeper by McCarter. He's spun down. And that'll bring up a 4th down. At the line of scrimmage, McCarter didn't go anywhere. And making the tackle for Lexington is Ben Friedrich. He's a sophomore, a good one, 205 pounds. Biggest play of the game coming right here for the Bulldog offense, right, Jake?
Yeah, definitely. This is a must-have 4th down for the Bulldogs.
4th and 1. Lexington fans getting into it. The ball is at the Minutemen 27-yard line. Tights, near hash, Mullenix. McCarter will take the football, hands it off to Neff. Colton gets a first down. He's across the 20, and he churns close to the 15-yard line. There looked like there was not much there for Colton Neff. Go back to what I said in the first half. If it's 4th and 1, if you're Trenton, you got to have a pretty good deal of confidence in putting the ball in the gut, number 33. Case in point right there.
Yeah, with Colton Neff, if you're going to tackle him, you got to make sure that you have multiple guys to come tackle him.
1,000-yard rusher 2 years ago. He's capable of 1,000. I think he's capable of 1,500 this year. He may not get it, though, because Trenton's so balanced in the backfield.
Yeah, true. They definitely share their carries. We saw that last week against Carrollton. 1st
and 10 from the 18-yard line for Trenton. Ball on the far hash. Neff lined up behind McCarter. Hand off Colton. He goes through the middle, through the hash marks. He's across the 10, 5, touchdown flag on the play right at the end of the play. A flag came in from the back judge who was standing in the end zone. I'm not sure what he saw. It had to be a block of some sort against the Bulldogs that they didn't like. A couple of the Bulldogs are still celebrating. I'm not sure what's going to be called, but I think it might be coming back.
Terrible call. That's all right.
8:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Right at the end of the play. It may have been an accurate call, just called late or something like that, but right as Colton Neff was crossing the goal line, Jacob, the flag came in. The guy in the end zone, block in the back, Trenton. And you know what?
That's a terrible call.
Referee there saw something. I didn't see it. It certainly was. It was a really, really poorly timed call as far as the Bulldogs are concerned. I can't go on that ledge to say it was a bad call or not because I didn't see it, but boy, the timing was really, really rough on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, anytime a call takes away a touchdown, especially in a moment in the game like this. It's
that late because it was thrown as he was crossing the goal line.
Yeah.
Very, very late in the play. 8.5 to go in the fourth quarter, 20-7. It's very little consolation, but the block in the back occurred literally at the 3. So, the ball is at the 13. So it's like, even though it's a penalty here against Trenton, it's like a 5-yard penalty against Lexington. It's first down and 5 from the 11-yard line. And Trenton still has a lot of confidence on offense. Motion man here is Leaper. Handoff Neff. He's across the 10 and down to the 9. Well, here's where I went earlier. If Trenton can get it to a 1-score lead at about the 7 or 8 mark of the fourth quarter, like their chances of getting that tying touchdown. And it has to happen now, not the tying touchdown. They're not in that position yet. 7:45 to go in the fourth quarter. 20-7 Lexington. Win or lose, Trenton's proved that they can play with this Lexington team. They can dominate Lexington. They did in the third quarter, Jake.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think win or lose is a huge confidence builder for Trenton.
I think the Bulldogs needed to prove that to themselves, and they've done that here. Can they come all the way back and get the W? Still a lot of work to be done. Motion man is Lamp. Rolling out to his right is McCarty. Goes back to the left. Flag thrown on the play as he's dropped at the 10-yard line. Looks like that's going to be a hold against the Bulldogs, and maybe an interesting call for Coach Barkley as to whether or not he wants to take the penalty or not. If I'm coach, I take the penalty because Trenton's such a run-heavy team. They're going to shove Trenton back to the 20-yard line if you take that hold, assuming it is a hold. 7:20 to go in the fourth quarter. 20-7 the lead for the Lexington Minutemen over the Trenton Bulldogs. Trenton had a block in the back that took a potential 17-yard touchdown run off the board by Colton Neff, and the way it looks right now, that may be the big momentum changer in this ball game. You don't want to put it all to the referees, but that's what it's looking like right now. That's a huge call.
Yeah, we talked about a lot at halftime about how in the first half Trenton was really shooting themselves in the foot in terms of why they were losing this ball game, and it hasn't changed too much yet.
You know what? They had a hold on Trenton and a hold on Lexington. Okay, well, and it looks like it's going to be first and goal for the Bulldogs. So we have a lot of odd calls that seem to have gone against Trenton over the last quarter, Jacob. This looks like one that might go Trenton's way with the penalties on both sides. First and goal, Trenton from the 6. I'll take it. I thought it was going to be at the 20 back there, about second and goal. Under center is McCarter. Hand off, no, the keeper by McCarty. Faked it to Neff, runs it across the 5, stays on his feet, he's ripped down at the 4. Pretty good fight there by Kale. At what points, where does it need to be on the clock where you're starting to think we got to get this touchdown on the board if we want to think about getting a third? It's right in that area, isn't it? I don't think you want to go under 5 minutes.
Well, I think when you're this close to the goal line, you're thinking now. No matter what time is on the clock, you got to get in now. So save yourself even more time for that second drive.
Coke TNT Locker Room Show with Dave Miles. It hits here at 10 o'clock tonight here on KGOZ and our sister station KTTN. Late in the second quarter, Princeton on KTTN leads Putnam 14-13. Pitch goes out wide to Leaper. He cuts at the 5, stays on his feet, cuts again toward the goal line, and yes, he is. He's in for the touchdown. 2 back cuts, one to the left, as Travis Leaper in from 5 yards out, and it is 20-13. Trenton down by 7. 6:38 to go in the fourth quarter. Jacob Marlay, we got ourselves a ball game here. Trenton Bulldogs are right in it with half a quarter to go.
Oh yeah, yes we do, and now it just comes down to Trenton's defense.
5-yard run by Leaper, and boy, I like that call. We haven't seen Travis get the ball a lot, but he was really elusive there in the open field. It looked like Lexington had guys there to make the stop. They just couldn't get number 11 down to the turf.
Yeah, we talk about Leaper's speed, explosiveness. He's also got that cutting ability, and he really showed it off there.
6:38 to go in the ball game. Here is the extra point kick by Neff. It is low. Looks like, yeah, it is hanging right. Sliced wide of the goal and no good. Lexington got some good pressure on that kick and forces the slice. 20-13. Trenton down 7. 6:38 to go. We're back with a kick to the Minuteman in 30 seconds on Hot Country Z 101.7.
Lexington High School athletics this year are very fortunate to have a
20-13. 6:38 to go.
Overcome those injuries and aches and pains. We are so thankful and welcome Mr. John Spires, our athletic coach.
I'm watching Dalrymple. It's pretty fun right now. Yeah. Next week? No idea. They switch up the seniors every week.
Let's see how to do the field, man. Careful.
I'm not sure yet. Are you? Okay. I'll see if Mariah's available. Unless you're not capable of running dog bites Thursday, are you? In Z? Welcome back here to Lexington. 6:38 to go in the fourth quarter. 20-13 is the lead for the Trenton Lexington Minutemen over the Trenton Bulldogs. But it was 20-0 at the half. And if you remember our discussions late in the second quarter, Jacob, particularly before Trenton unfortunately had a turnover and interception at the goal line, we were worried about it being 50-0 with running clock at some point. It was looking that way. So the Bulldogs have stood up. They have proven a point that We were on the road. We've had some really ugly losses over the last 2 years. This is not going to be one of those losses. We can play with you guys. Trenton's bringing it to Lexington right now. Lexington's trying to hold on by their fingernails. We'll see if Trenton get the job done with one more score. If Trenton gets that score, the most interesting decision of the whole game may be, do you go for overtime or do you go for two?
Well, Coach Croy, the former Trenton Bulldogs head coach, used to always tell me when it's an away game, you go for two to get the heck out of there. When it's a home game, you go for the tie because then you got the crowd on your side.
I can see Wes saying that. I don't blame him either. Get the heck out of town. Either win it or lose it with one play. Why not? Trenton got the ways to go to get to that. 7 points down, 6:38 to go, and the stress level is up on this near sideline from the Lexington faithful that have made their way to Gil Rector Stadium tonight. Ready to boot the football away for the Bulldogs. It is Jonathan Lamp. Boots it away. Low grounder down to the 20. Picked up by Lexington. Racing through the middle, getting yardage to the 45 to the 50. Down the sideline to the 45 to the 40 and cutting back and dropped at the Bulldog 28-yard line is Blake Johnson. Disheartening for the Bulldogs because you figure you ground that kick and you want to do that to kind of protect against that, but that was well blocked by Lexington and not well covered by the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs didn't get off the blocks.
Yeah, and we talked about how their defense has got the pressure on them now. Well, now the pressure's only heightened, so let's see if they can live up to it.
And last week, that was the in a 41-0 win. That was really the punt coverage, the kickoff coverage was the Achilles heel of the Bulldogs against Carrollton.
Yes, it was.
So that'll be 1st and 10 for Lexington. That kick return, boy, just wide open, opened up for Blake Johnson. All the way down to the 27-yard line of THS. Doesn't mean the Bulldogs can't get a defensive stop, but they need to get it here sooner or later. Isaiah Kuhn digging in at that nose tackle position. Here's the handoff to Shepard, and he's knocked down for maybe a gain of 1. Tucker Franklin, I think, got a piece of the leg there of the running back. And it looks like they're going to give him about 3. So he got low there and got more yardage than it looked like to the naked eye down to the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 7. Bulldogs, they're just getting better defensive penetration here defensively. That's really clear in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. The defensive line are playing with the spark.
2nd and 7. Who gets the football on the single wing? It'll be Gasson. He hands it off to Lynn. Lynn cuts against the grain right side. Back to the middle, trying to get to the 30. Won't get there. Or the 20, I should say. Got to about the 22. He was yanked backwards. I think that was Ryan Hines of the Bulldogs. Grabbing and pulling back. Yeah, Hines on the tackle. These are big plays coming up right now. The ball is close to the red zone. It is 3rd down and 4 coming up. That's only a gain of 2 on the play by Cooper Lynn.
Yeah, definitely. These 2 plays are going to be the key for the Bulldog defense right here.
Onto the field, Reese Gasson. Most often than not, I'd say about 75% of the time, we see Gasson get the football, but not all the time. Sometimes it's Gasson at quarterback. Sometimes it's snapped directly to Shepard. Here's the snap, running through the middle, stood up and stopped, I believe. Short of the 1st down marker is the up back for Lexington, and that was Gasson. So Reese Gasson got not much, a yard, maybe 2. Is that what it would look like to you?
Yeah.
He needed 4, and I think he got about half of it, maybe a little bit less. If you look at where that yard marker is, that looks like it's about 4th down and 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, you're not 3, but probably closer to 2, but in that maybe 2 1/4 area. Ball down at the 21-yard line. Need about the 19 in that area here if you're Lexington. Ball on the far hash with 4:22 to go in the 4th quarter. See who gets the football here for the Minutemen. Movement from the Bulldogs. They hold firm, and now timeout called by Gasson.
Wow.
They're just going to increase the pressure here a little bit. There's a huge play coming up. Lexington's going to talk it over. We'll return to Al Rector Stadium in 30 seconds with this huge 4th down play. It's next. You're listening to the Bulldogs on Hot Country Z 101.7. Any score update from Princeton? Okay. Probably radio people want to get scores. Yeah, exactly. I just ignore it. I should actually give you access to like the Twitter account or something like that for Z, so you can update that stuff when you're. I can give it to you if you want to write it down in our next break. Okay. The sign-in name is Hot Country Z1017, like all one word. So you can write that one down. Welcome back to Hal Rector Stadium. The score with 4:13 to go in quarter number 4 is 20-13 Lexington. Lexington's facing 4th down and 2. Lexington's talking strategy or what they want to go to. To me right now, Jacob, sometimes football is just you want it more than your opponent. Trenton has to want it more here than Lexington on this 4th and 2.
Yeah, 4th and short with the game on the line. This is definitely...
Got to find a way. Got to find a way if you're the Bulldogs. This isn't do or die here, but it's awfully big. Full house backfield for Lexington. Here is the handoff to Shepard. He runs it forward, and does he get the first down? Does he? Some Trent fans over there are saying no. They're saying they're pointing first down Trenton. Tucker Franklin is lying on all fours at the 20-yard line. Where did his knee go down? I think Trenton has the football. Jake's happy. Hey, high five, bud. There you go. Well, we're not unbiased up here. It is a first down Trenton. Trenton gets a stop on downs. Quite frankly, where we're at the press box, we saw him tripped up. We have no idea from this angle where that football is.
Yeah.
We're just waiting and seeing, and I was kind of reacting to a lot of the Trenton fans over there. I thought it might have been Lexington fans that were jumping up and down excited, but the Trenton fans on the far sideline, they knew immediately first down going the other way. Trenton football down 7, 4:10 to go. Is there magic from the Bulldogs? Late. Here's McCarter, races right side, breaks a tackle. He cuts out to the right, he spins. He's out across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Gets a little bit. That was a lot of work for about 3 yards, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was a big play.
There wasn't a lot there, but Cale McCarter got as much as he could. That's a type of play that's not going to go 77 yards and a touchdown, but if you get 4 yards off of that one, that's pretty good because that should have been about a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, good start to the offensive drive here.
Ball at the 21, second down. We'll call it a long 6 to go here for Trenton High School. 3.5 to go in the 4th quarter. Motion man is Berkey Bile. The handoff through the middle. Knapp. Oh, he bangs his way to the 30 for a first down. It looks to me like Lexington can't figure out if Trenton's going inside with Neff or outside with Leaper and Lamp. And they're guessing wrong, it seems like, every time because boy, they got soft in the middle there, and Colton Ness, all linebacker, ran him over at the 30.
Yeah, this is where Trenton's deep backfield really comes in handy.
3:19 to go in the 4th quarter. Dogs down by 7. What a great stirring second half performance by Trenton. Motion man is Lamp. Handoff Neff. Neff across the 35 to the 38-yard line. I told Jacob before the game, all I ask of you is you can jump up and down and you can get excited for your team and everything, but during the play, you just got to be quiet. He is doing everything but chatting right now. He's jumping up and down. He's fired up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great game, and it gets me fired up.
Yeah, second down and 1. That was a 9-yard carry for Colton Knapp. You can certainly sense the concern in the stands from Lexington with Trenton on the move, down by 7. Handoff Knapp through the middle. First down, 45 down to the 47-yard line. If, and I know it's a big if right now, because the clock is becoming a factor, Jacob, and Trenton still has 53 yards to go. If Trenton comes all the way back and they go 2-0 going to Holden next week, it maybe is the biggest win this program has had in, what, 7-8 years? Going back that far?
Yeah, I think so, considering we were down 20-0 at halftime.
And look dead in the water, quite frankly. Here is Lamp going out wide. Ball behind him. Ball is loose. Can Jonathan get on it? I don't think he did. Lexington is saying Minutemen football. Did Lamp get back on that football? They might have said he did, and then Lexington took it away. What's going to be the call there? Lexington is saying Lexington ball. I think they're going to say Jonathan got on that football, then had it torn away after he was on the ground, which is an accurate call. You don't see that called very often, but if the referee was right there, that's the good call.
Yeah, the ref came in, and you could tell as he was walking to the huddle, he was holding up the 2 for the second down, so I think he knew all along that the Bulldogs had the football.
That was a disastrous play for Trenton. Short of turning it over, which Trenton almost did, that is a loss of 8 yards at a terrible time of this ball game. It was not a great pitch. It's probably one that Jonathan had, but it was behind him. It was on his back shoulder instead of his front shoulder.
Yeah, Jonathan had a chance to snag it in, but, I think this is one of those times where those nerves just kind of get the shaky hands on you.
We'll be back with Trenton calling timeout in 30 seconds. 2:08 to go, fourth quarter, 20-13. Lexington holding on. Trenton facing second and 17. We're back in 30 on Z101.7. As soon as it is out there. Okay, do you want the password for that? Yeah, it's all one word. Okay, it is in the Zoom. 64683. Yeah, okay. 20-13, Lexington, 2 minutes, 8 seconds to go. Okay. And if you want to, whenever you post that score, put hashtag #MoPreps. 20-13 is the lead for the Lexington Minutemen over the Trenton Bulldogs. That was a damaging play for Trenton, Jacob, because we've seen so many times that Trenton has a bad play. They get behind the sticks. They don't have the offense to make up the yardage. Trenton needs a really big play here on 2nd and 17.
Yeah, definitely.
Need to get it to at least 3rd down and 10, something more manageable. As going under center is Cale McCarter. Behind him is Neff. The motion man is Leaper. Back to pass is McCarter. He's going to look to his left. He's going to throw the home run pass down the sideline. Catch made by Mullinex. He has it at the 30. He's inside the 30 and down to the 25-yard line. It looked like there was some hand jousting there, but what I saw, I'm not sure if Cree pushed off at all, but I saw him adjust to the football right there, Jacob. He saw the football was thrown short, and he adjusted to it much better than the Lexington defensive back.
Yeah, I don't think it was a push off at all. I think the Lexington defensive back just outran his coverage, and there's no reason to be upset about that.
Yeah, Lexington fans are kind of booing in the background, but I didn't see anything that was clearly a push off. I saw a guy adjusting to the football. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Ball down at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. McCarter fakes, keeps it to the 20, inside the 20, down to the 18. This is where you find out about your football team, too, because Trenton has momentum, but there's a lot of pressure on right now. The fans on the Lexington side are nervous and very much into the ballgame. Fans on Trenton side are going nuts. They're a long way away from us, but this is where you got to keep your cool as an offense and not do anything silly.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, that's Coach Boswell's job to keep them under control, and he's done a great job of it so far.
A lot of seniors out there for the Bulldogs. Cree Mullinex races out to the near hash. Under center goes McCarter. Motion man is Berkebile. Hand off Neff. Neff through the middle to the 10, down to the 9. That should be a first down, Trenton. It is. It'll be first down and goal from the 10. Mr. Marlay, I think we're going to see how much of Coach Croy, Coach Boswell has in him. If Trenton scores here, Coach Croy had the philosophy of we go for 2 because we want to get out of town. I'm not sure if Brandon is as brassy as that, but I'll be interested to see. I would love to see him have to make the decision.
Yeah, well, knock on wood, they got to score first.
Exactly. And we saw Trenton earlier at the 5 and throw an interception. Timeout on the field, 1:10 to go. It is Lexington 20, Bulldogs 13. We're back to Gil Rector in 30 seconds. It is just past 9 o'clock here in tune. Your home of the Bulldogs, KGOZ, Gallatin, Chillicothe.
How long was that pass to Mullinex? Do you know?
Was it like
Is that about the 35?
not to that Twitter account. No, it's Hots Country Z1017. All lower. No. Okay, yeah, it's all one word. It's like 1017. 70 seconds.
Coach, about how long was that pass to Mullinex?
I want to say it's about 35, 36 yards.
And then we're back inside. Take care of the football. We're back inside.
Okay.
Where to go?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and bring the ball. Come on.
Beautiful looking moon here at Lexington. It's not bright and clear. There's a lot of cloud cover and haze, but the moon looms over Gil Rector Stadium as the Bulldogs try to complete a remarkable comeback here in the second half and go 2-0. 9 yards away from getting within 1 point, then a decision on whether you want to go overtime or for the win. Pitch will go to Leaper, coming right side, gets the corner, touchdown! Touchdown, Trenton Bulldogs. Travis Leaper goes in untouched. It was the sweet play coming right side, and the sweet play was sweet for the Trenton Bulldogs. Well, we know what Coach Croy would do. You're head coach, Jacob. We don't know what Coach Boswell is going to do. And quite frankly, it's not like there's 5 seconds left. It's not like if you get it, you win, and if you don't, you lose. But it's pretty close, that situation. 1 minute and 4 seconds left to go. Let's see what Coach Boswell goes with. I think he's going to go for 2.
Yeah, I think he is too.
That's my hunch. So Leaper with the touchdown, 20-19, and the Bulldogs are going for the lead. Grassy on their black and gold. Handoff, Neff through the middle, grinds toward the goal line, keeps pushing, goes toward the goal line, backs up. Does he get there? No. Huge defensive stand by the Lexington Minutemen. Trenton gave the ball to Colton Neff, and I'll say this for Colton. Number 33 never gave up on that play. There's just too many Lexington guys hanging on to him. He got some help from McCarty, just couldn't get the ball across the goal line.
Yeah, I mean, it was a team effort. You saw McCarter there even trying to push Neff over the goal line, and, it just wasn't quite enough. But, hey, still heck of a comeback by the Bulldogs.
You know what, too? There's 1 minute and 4 left. I know Trenton has 2 timeouts, at least 2. They used one on the 4 wide play that Lexington had earlier. So I think Trenton has 2 timeouts. Don't quote me on that, but I think Trenton needs to at least go for a little bit of an onside kick look here.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know that Lexington hasn't had any turnovers yet in this game, but hey, there's a first time for everything, so maybe we can cross our fingers for that.
Yeah, I don't blame Coach Boswell for going for 2. I'd go for 2 100 times out of 100 on that one.
Well, yeah, especially with the second season coach in a huge game like this, I think going for the win is a smart idea.
It may not result in the win tonight, but it shows confidence in the boys that even if they don't win this game, it looks like that may be a possibility at this point. It's going to be a loss if it stays this way. That would hurt Trenton, but they gain a lot from the way they played in the second half too.
Oh yeah, completely.
How often do you guys work on the onside kick, high school level? Is it something that you work on a lot, or?
I mean, we work on it just about as much as the regular kickoffs. We do a couple reps of regular, a couple reps of onside. Got our hands team and our onside kickoff team.
You had Seth Acton for a while as a kicker, who's a pretty good kicker.
Oh yeah, Seth Acton was a great kicker.
He could probably do that pretty well. Jonathan Lamp is going to try to boot this ball into the ground. It has to go 10 yards. Trenton has lined up on that far sideline. Whole lot of Bulldogs wearing the black and gold. Maybe they'll try to pooch it 20 yards down the field, see if they can chase it down. A lot of things they could do here. Trenton wants the football. Lamp cracks it into the ground, lines it right at a Lexington player. Ball's loose, and Lexington has it. That was a line drive. It hit a Lexington up man right in the hands, and I think it bounced to a Minuteman who jumped on that ball at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know if the kick was intentionally like that, but it was definitely unconventional.
It was. I tell you what, that kick was sidewinding. It was like a snake you see in the desert, that sidewinder where it's just spinning back and forth. Very hard to grab clean. Lexington very fortunate that ball bounced right to a guy in blue.
Yeah, definitely. After it popped right off the first guy's chest, they were very lucky that the next guy was aware enough to get on it.
Okay, 1:01 to go in the 4th quarter. If Lexington has Trenton in the box that Trenton doesn't want to be in, where they can kneel on the football, Lexington has that opportunity. It looks like that's what the Minutemen will do. 20-19, Lexington by the skin of their teeth. Looks like they're going to escape with a home field victory. Timeout Trenton. Lexington did take the knee, so Lexington isn't going to try to do anything silly. They're going to force Trenton to use timeouts. Trenton had at least 1. We know that. Do we know for sure how many Trenton has left? See, first down, I don't know they have that on the score, but I know they had not 3, because they had taken 1 earlier on the 4 wide.
Yeah.
And I said at the time, too, it looked like a strategic move by Lexington. May really hurt Trenton here, because Trenton would direly like to have 3 timeouts in this situation.
Yeah, definitely. In close games like this, you hate losing those timeouts like you mentioned earlier.
So as we come back to action here, 57.4 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. I think what I take from this game, at least at this point here, the most, Jacob, is Trenton has had games where they get down 20-0. It's just like the Dauber gets down, and by the end of the game, it's like 45-7 or 45-6.
Yeah.
Not tonight. And I think this is what Trenton can take from this and say, guys, it's right there in front of us.
Yeah, it seems like they're almost years in Trenton teams where games like this go 2 different ways.
Yeah, like they needed to get that feeling out of their system. It took them 2 quarters, but they got it out of their system tonight. There'll be another kneel down here. for Lexington, as Reese Gasson will kneel down at the 46-yard line. So we know Trenton had one timeout. We're not sure if they have a second. I'm going to say a pretty confident no, because the clock is rolling, which is not good for Trenton, because at this point it's a moot point unless we see Joe Pisarcik from the Giants-Eagles game from the 70s. That's before your time, but you've probably seen that highlight where he all he had to do is kneel on the football, try to hand it off to his fullback, bang the about 7 seconds left, bangs the football into the fullback, fumble, Eagles return it, touchdown.
I'm not sure.
You haven't seen that one? Yeah, it wasn't a proud moment in Giants history. This is a proud moment in Lexington Minutemen history, though. They're going to go to 2-0. They're going to feel really fortunate to escape this one. Trenton Bulldogs are going to have a lot to be proud of, and I'm sure Trenton's going to look at this game too, Jacob, because we've looked at this, a 21-20 or 20-19 loss with kind of a positive spin. I think there's a lot of reasons we can do this. You know, there's about 50% of this, too, that's going to be Trenton didn't play well in the first half. And if Trenton would have played this way for 3 quarters, we'd be going 2-0 to hold them. There's a lesson to be learned there for the boys as well.
Yeah, and I think that's what you tell the boys is that, you know, we've seen in the second half how well they can play, but we also saw in the first half how mistakes can keep them from playing that well. So I think that, you know, you sew up those mistakes and then you've got a much better football team on your hands.
How did you on the stat keeping tonight?
I'm still working on that.
it's a work in progress. We'll see what he has and see how close it is to the real stats. Post game, it starts up in 2 minutes. Final score, Heartbreak Hotel for the Trenton Bulldogs stopped just short on a 2-point conversion with 1:04 to go. 20-19, Lexington holds on. We're back with post game in 2 minutes on your home of the Bulldogs, Hot Country Z 101.7.